Imagine with me for a while being lured into your basement by the woman you are dating. What if she chained you to the walls? Would you scream for your neighbor's help if you knew that they would find you naked, cuffed to heavy metal chains with a burlap sack on your head and a raging hard-on because you actually fucking love it? Hello, my pets, and welcome into The Dungeon, the podcast for submissives to learn, grow, be entertained, and ultimately to find empowerment in their submission. I'm your host, KatNash, the Music City Dominatrix, and today's episode is a special one to mark the kickoff of Season 5 of Into the Dungeon. It's story time, but this one's going to be a little different because I'm telling the story by putting you, my dear listeners, in the victim's seat. So close your eyes, assume the position, and get ready for a wild fucking ride. Hey babe, come here for a minute. You hear me holler from somewhere in the depths of your house. Where the hell is she, you wonder? Finally following my voice to the open doorway leading down to your basement. What the hell? As you descend into your dark and musty basement, you note that you should probably clear out the cobwebs once in a while. I pop up from around the corner in my sunny yellow flowing skirt and a crop top, smiling. Can I see your wrists for a second? I ask sweetly. Without hesitation, you hold out your wrists to me. I clamp a heavy metal cuff around one wrist, struggling with the tiny locking mechanism. You start to pull your wrist away, but I grab it and look at you reassuringly. I just want to see if these fit you. You're interested as well. They look tiny. What are they, bracelets? I more adeptly cuff the second one and grin up at you. Perfect fit. How do they feel? You're puzzled why I would be putting bracelets on you, but you jangle your wrists around, trying to get a feel for them. They're tight and very heavy. Definitely not something to be worn out for the day. You're puzzled. What are they? Come here, I smile and tug at your hand, pulling you further into the basement. I begin asking you questions about how they feel, knowing that you will be easily distracted by answering and won't pay too much attention to the fact that I am using heavy carabiners to attach your cuffed wrists to chains mounted in a doorway. Your careless blabbering stammers to a halt as I begin to unbuckle your pants. You gaze into that seductive look in my eye as I deftly remove your pants and boxers. Perhaps it's the blood flowing from your now elevated bound arms that is causing the throbbing in your most private of parts. You can't help it. You're hard. What is she going to do? She doesn't ever give blowjobs, but this would really be the perfect time. Silly, stupid boy. Once you are bottomless, I quickly spread your legs and cuff your ankles to the chains attached to the wall. I step towards you and run my hot hands from your bare hip under your shirt to your chest. It is now that you see my sweet and seductive face turn into something much more sinister, like a predator. Hey, what are you doing? What is this? You sort of half laugh nervously. I step back, way back, and appraise your predicament. Try to get loose, I instruct. You begin to tug gently at the cuffs. The clang of the chains is wildly abrasive in the still, dark, echoing cement basement. No, I don't think I can, you say. Now my face turns positively wicked, and I say, keep trying. Your eyebrows shoot up in shock as I walk away. Hey, wait, where are you going? What is this? You hear my steps receding up the stairs. Oh, and if you're too loud, I will gag you. Slam. You are in darkness. What the hell? Your gentle tugging turns into more and more attempts to escape. The heavy metal cuffs are snug around your wrists without tugging, and they quickly become sore from the movement and struggle. You try moving your legs up, around, anything, but you are absolutely and firmly stuck. It's then that you finally notice a tiny red light directly in front of you, about 20 feet away. What is that? You squint in the darkness, trying to make it out. Is that a camera? You remain perfectly still for what feels like half an hour, until you hear the telltale mechanical whirl of a camera adjusting focus. You are being watched. Upstairs, I make myself a snack. I pull up the app on my phone and watch your half-nude body struggle with the chains and then give up. I see your resignation. Interestingly, you remain hard as a fucking rock. Now that is a pleasant surprise. That is perfect for me. I think perhaps I have chosen the correct guy for the job. I know that this experience will either mold you into my perfect boyfriend or end our dynamic. Either you will thrive under me or be pushed away entirely, and I'm curious which it will be. But I am rooting for you. I want to own you completely. After about a half an hour, I decide to really begin. I've changed into something tight, black, and shiny. Gone is the floor-length, summery, nice girl skirt. When I noticed how loud the echo of my thigh-high boots are on the stairs, I slow my pace. I know it must be terrifying to you. Clunk, clunk, clunk. Louder, closer. When you finally see me, you chuckle nervously. I say, you might need this. And I cover your face with a rough burlap sack. It pokes and itches and smells strongly of some chemical. Despite having no sight, you can sense exactly where I am. At first, it's from the heat emanating off my body, the scent of my perfume and arousal. But in time, you become so connected and oriented to me that I could be 10 feet away and walking soundlessly, and you would know precisely where I was. But I get ahead of myself. You are standing there, vulnerable, uncomfortable, naked from the waist down and without sight. You feel the warmth of my body behind you as I say, don't move a muscle. You feel a slight tug on your shirt, then a loud, violent rip as I tear off the back of your shirt. I use scissors to cut the thicker fabric of the neckline and arms. You don't dare to even breathe as you feel the cold metal of the scissors touch your skin, cutting away at your clothes until you are completely nude. Despite the chill in the basement and the lack of airflow, you are sweating. You hear me murmur my appreciation as my fingertips glide around your body. First, up and down your back, then lightly down your butt cheeks. My torso then presses into the back of yours as my hands wander up the front side of your thighs, hips. I grab your privates and squeeze. Absolutely delicious. I whisper in your ear, I want to make you mine. You don't know what that means exactly. You're afraid to ask. And before you garner the courage to speak, I say, but first, I need to break you. When I pull the heat of my body away from you, you feel a coldness that stems from not just the temperature, almost like a void. You want me back against you. You feel safer, almost comforted, despite the fact that I have chained you and neglected you in the basement. You hear some odd shuffling and bumping noises. What is she doing? Then I tell you, this is gonna hurt, but it is necessary. Are you ready? At this point, you are a crazy mix of terrified, confused, and shockingly turned on. What is even happening? The hormones flooding through your brain and body are making this whole thing feel surreal, fuzzy. Is this real? Then whap! An intense pain jolts through you as something smacks hard into your left butt cheek. You scream in shock and pain. I chuckle. Okay, you're gonna have to be quiet. I can't have the neighbors come knocking on the door now, can I? I need you to be a good boy for me. Do you think you can do that? Logic and reasoning apparently no longer exist to you because in that moment, you want nothing more than to do whatever the fuck I say. Whap! Just as hard on the right cheek. Your legs start to feel weak. You can't tell which is the worst part, the shock or the pain, but it all just sort of meshes together, kind of like a lightning bolt striking out of nowhere. You know more are coming, but there's no way to mentally prepare for them. I begin a steady pace of beating you. First the left cheek, then the right, then the middle, covering both cheeks. I try out different implements. I'm curious which is most intense to you. Leather? Plexiglass? Wood? A plastic-covered bike chain, perhaps? After each blow, I want you to tell me you belong to me. Whap! I belong to you. Tell me that you live to serve me. Whap! I live to serve you. Over and over and over and over. You repeat the mantras of my choice as I beat this new programming into you. After what seems like hours, your legs are starting to give out. Your brain isn't cohesive enough to register and say anything, but I notice. I move around in front of you and yank the burlap sack off of your head. Your eyes are wild, like a trapped, injured animal. You blink at me in the dim light. I quickly uncuff you as your shaking increases. Your teeth begin to chatter. Fuck, was that too much? I pull you down to the floor with me. Despite you being much taller than me, I somehow curl you up into my lap. My arms fully envelop you as I rock. You feel sobs burst forth from somewhere deep inside you. There are no more thoughts. No more thoughts, just feelings. And those feelings don't have labels. They just are. Deep, intense, relief, release, pain, pleasure. These words are insufficient descriptions of the indescribable intensity. And I feel so proud of you in that moment. What you just accomplished for me, what you took, ultimately just to please me, I whisper my approval to you, my pride, my love, as I pet your back and rock you in my arms. Your body racks with sobs and then calms down. You feel nothing now, a floating weightlessness. I want to stop now. I want to take you to the comforting soft covers of a snuggly bed and hold you close. But I know that that would not be sufficient. To truly and completely own you, to mold you into the boyfriend you asked me to be, I must completely break your ego, your mind and your body. Are you thirsty? I ask. You nod yes. I have Gatorade. I open it and smile before taking a big drink. You wait your turn. Get on your knees, I say. Quizzically, you acquiesce. Close your eyes and open your mouth. I stand above you and take another long pull of the cool Gatorade, then press my lips to yours and let the now lukewarm drink spill from my lips into your mouth. You jump a little in surprise, but swallow. Again and again, I nourish you with the juice from my mouth, enforcing that it is only by my benevolence that you are sustained. Stand up, I say. And that is when you notice it. The odd bench and strap apparatus in the darkest corner of your basement. I take your hand and walk you to it. Bend over this, I instruct. Hesitation is not even an option at this point. Your brain is one fuzzy lump of submission. You bend over the spanking bench and mindlessly allow me to strap your legs, arms, and then torso to the bench. You wait with a feeling of impending doom as you hear my rustling around behind you. You hear the sound of a cap open and some sort of liquid squirt out. You hear the sound of mushy smushing, the sound of stirring macaroni and cheese. But it's not fucking macaroni and cheese that you're hearing. You feel my body heat at your exposed bottom. The juxtaposition of the fiery heat from my pelvis and the shocking coolness of the lube squirt onto you. The pressure. The feeling of my hands grabbing your hips as I use you. As I just take advantage of your position and physically own your body. It's not something you love. It's not something I love, but for this process to completely own you entirely, it is necessary. When you cannot take any more, I stop. Without a single word, I take off the strap-on. I slowly untie you. You are in a daze, violated, used, worn out, sore in many ways. You have no fight left in you as I lead you back to the cuffs and chain you back to the wall. I put the sack back over your head and you hear my voice in your ear. You belong to me. Yes, you reply. I own you completely. You do. You start to answer when my voice interrupts you. Your body belongs to me. You pause. Your heart belongs to me. And then you realize it's a recording. Your mind belongs to me. The slow, steady sound of a heartbeat begins pumping in the background as my voice fills your ears and brain with the new beliefs that I desire you to have. The recording is 30 minutes. I clean up and go back upstairs. I am both enlivened and utterly exhausted. When I planned this day, I had no idea how emotionally draining it would be for me. But it was necessary. I watched you on the spy cam. You struggled to attempt to aim as you peed in the bucket I set out for you. No water, no food, no bathroom except for the bucket. You were the perfect little abductee. The next part, I admit, I was nervous for. I chugged my water, then descended the staircase when I heard my brainwashing hypnosis recording had ended. You stood there, head hung, arms stretched out and bound. I had not recuffed your ankles, so unbinding you was swift. I told you to get on your knees as I took off your hood. You blinked up at me. I perched on the edge of the spanking bench and pulled aside my panties for you. Thirsty? I asked. You hesitated. You saw my face turn from flirtatious to malicious. Come here now. Fuck. You crawled towards me and placed your mouth around me. Are you ready? I asked. Mm-hmm, you mumbled. Then I let loose. You were surprised at the burst of liquids from me. You choked, sputtered, tried to drink it all down as I urinated in your mouth. You tried to follow directions, but you choked. And honestly, what a way to go. Death by urine drowning? Later, you will admit that this part, the part where you drank of me, was the most surprisingly intimate experience that you've ever had in your life. And it is what thoroughly cemented you to me. Shockingly, you loved it. But you made the fatal mistake of jerking your head away from my pussy as you tried to swallow. Along with a mess, you made me angry. and now you must suffer the consequence. I'm disappointed that I have to do this to you, but it is the repercussion of displeasing me in this way. I move you to a different spot and have you sit on your knees. You see me grab your bucket of piss. You see my face lit up with anger and disappointment as I stalk towards you. You displeased me. I know, you said. And this is what you deserve as punishment. Do you understand? I hold up the bucket. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, you stuttered out. And then I pour your own piss all over your head. You spit violently to ensure it stays out of your mouth. You wipe at your face. Lucky for you, I'm a benevolent queen. I have a hose handy and immediately turn it on to blast you clean. You scrub at your hair, your face, as the freezing cold water blasts you all over. When you are clean, I take off your cuffs. The sweet relief of having them off of your wrists is like its own form of heaven. You feel so grateful. Shivering, wet, and traumatized, I lead you upstairs. I make you crawl. You never realized how hard it was to crawl upstairs as an adult until now. When did your body become so awkward? You are led to a dog crate set up in your plush, cozy living room. Of course I want you to climb in. I don't care that you barely fit. And no, you don't get a blanket or pad for comfort. As your body is crammed in the cage, I sit back and just watch you as I munch on cookies and milk. You just gaze at me, your hands wrapped in the bars of the cage, stretching towards me longingly. You look used, broken, but you also look utterly in love. The brainwashing tape plays for the third, or is it the fourth time, as I just watch you. I had planned on more torture. I'd planned to poke and prod you and mark you through the bars. I did shock you with an electric prod a couple of times, but I could sense that you were there. Your mind was mine. Oddly, through the torture, the abuse, the neglect, the degradation, your heart felt more mine than ever. I let you out of the cage. You crawl towards me and hesitate before the couch. May I? You ask. Yes. I smile, and you climb onto the couch and into my arms. Tangled together, you sunk into me. You felt exhausted, but more whole than ever before in your life. More seen, more accepted, like you belong and you have purpose. Stripped bare of all ego and somehow free. And me? I get my perfect companion, ready to mold into the perfect boyfriend for me. The end. Thank you for joining me for this wild kickoff to this season's podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. If you are submissive, wanting to show your devotion to your dom, be sure to check out my line of owned t-shirts and hoodies that I have for sale on my website. I absolutely love it when my subs show up for a session or service or even a hangout wearing their owned shirt. It's like, damn right you are. It definitely pleases me, and I really think that it would please your femdom as well if you surprised her like that. You can also find all of my other info and offerings there on my website. It's www.KatNash.com, and stay tuned for exciting info on my Locktober program. You are not going to want to fucking miss that one, especially if you are a single, unowned submissive. It's going to be so fucking hot. Also, feel free to email me your stories or episode ideas at thewildcreatrix@gmail.com, or you can find me on KatNash, KatNash. All of this info is in my episode right up below. Join me next week for my next titillating episode, and until then, stay kinky, my pets.